Hello. In this video, we're going to talk about multiplication using equal groups and arrays. So multiplication deals with the combination of equal groups in order to find the total amount of objects in all those groups. It's usually represented with an X symbol, but sometimes with a dot. And then multiplication can also be thought of as repeated addition, but the act of multiplication actually helps us solve it more efficiently, especially as we start dealing with larger numbers. So equal groups means that there will be the same number of objects in each group. So we draw the groups. So in our example here, we have 3 groups, 4 objects in each group. In order to find our answer, we want to count the total number of x's. So 3 groups times 4 objects in each group will give us 12 total x's, or 3 times 4 equals 12. As said previously, multiplication can also be thought of as repeated addition, where we add the number of objects in each group over and over again. So if we have 5 groups with 2 objects in each group, all we have to do is add 2 5 times. Or we can skip count by 2's. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So 5 groups with 2 objects in each group will give us 10, or 5 times 2 equals 10. Some fun facts about multiplication. The word multiplication comes from the Latin word multiplex, which means many times. Multiplication is used in real-life situations, such as calculating the cost of multiple items or finding the area of a rectangle. And then knowing multiplication just helps us solve problems more efficiently and helps us make sense of the world around us. I always tell my students that multiplication is something you'll use for the rest of your life, definitely the rest of your math career. You can also solve multiplication using arrays. An array is a way of organizing objects into rows and columns. So when you draw an array, each row will have the same number of objects, and then the columns will have the same number of objects as well. When first learning about arrays, it's important to know that rows go left to right, side to side. Columns go from top to bottom, up and down. And to find the answer of a multiplication problem using an array, we're going to multiply rows times columns, and we're just going to count the total of objects in the array. So just like with equal groups, we can use skip counting or repeated addition to find the total number of objects in an array. So I can count the columns. So there are 4 columns with 3 in each column. So 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 equals 12. Or I can count the rows. There are 4 in each row. 4 plus 4 plus 4 equals 12. So both equal groups and arrays can both be used to help us solve multiplication problems. Equal groups obviously deal with groups and objects in each group, while arrays organize objects into rows and columns. Both methods can be used to solve multiplication problems, but there are certain times where it might be advantageous to use one particular strategy. So when solving multiplication word problems, some word problems might deal with groups. So it's obviously better when you're drawing a picture to draw groups that match the problem. Some problems might deal with rows and columns. So again, it probably makes sense to draw a picture that matches the problem. So in this instance, it makes sense to use both groups and arrays at different times. Arrays also connect to area, length times width. So the more comfortable you are with using arrays, the better off you are when solving area problems. So our final question here is, would you rather solve problems using equal groups, arrays, or do you like both? I like equal groups. They just make more sense to me. I think they're easier to draw. But I know that there are some times you have to use arrays and have an understanding of arrays. So use whatever strategy you like to solve multiplication problems. If it works for you, then it's the best one for you.